Hello and welcome back to Lone Gamers: The Apocalypse. In this arc of Lone Gamers, we are playing Vessel by Kyle Ott and Desks and Dorks. I said it right this time.
Woohoo, Desks and Dorks!
Last time on Lone Gamers, we met Barry Blair, mild-mannered artist who got an offer he couldn't refuse, but it sort of went against his goals of getting published.
Did it though?
The thing
He still
about
got
Barry,
his story published. He still got his story published.
Yeah. The thing about Barry is that he is also possessed by some sort of demon spirit entity named Mulgazar. And at night has no idea that he becomes the Silver Shield, a vigilante superhero. So we have dice in front of us that show us how much we like or dislike the other entity that is sharing a symbiotic relationship with. And I get to set the challenge for this one, and Seppy is going to be the GM. So this challenge is that we know where the dragon went. And we're going to go after the dragon.
Okay. We're going to go after the dragon. So
yeah, you're the boss.
All right.
What happened after leaving the high rise?
After leaving the high rise, there's this awkward moment where you will not make eye contact and look at Uncle Bill. And Uncle Bill says, "Hey, we should celebrate," and takes you to the high-end taco and tequila place across from the pizzeria. The city, the one that you work at, the place that you always want to go in, but you're never dressed nice enough, and so forth and whatnot. You're very surprised that Bill just walks in and walks you in, and since you're not dressed like you are normally, you had asked about like your clothes, and Bill's like, "Forget about him, Barry. This is not the first time." And you go into this high end place. Now, is Barry the kind of person who drinks when people tell him to, drinks on his own, or doesn't drink at all?
Barry is the sort of person who probably at most has a beer a month.
Okay. It's very odd for you to have a shot of tequila, a high-end tequila, but it's so expensive that you don't even realize how delicious tequila can be, and you weren't going to refuse. And Bill seems very comfortable. He's obviously one of those old school guys who has trained himself to, be corporate acceptable while heavily influenced.
Yeah, which is also this is all very weird for Barry as well, because this is not the Bill that he knows.
No,
this is not the Bill who lives in the country.
And Country Bill had a different agenda. This is Buttoned Up Bill. So Buttoned Up Bill put another shot in front of you, and by the time you realized it, you had passed out and you had woken up as a Silver Shield. You didn't know this, but Mark knows this.
Yes.
Barry didn't know this, but Mark knows this.
So,
and then the Silver Shield sees his former sidekick gone old, Gunman Bill.
Wow. Okay. Can you tell me what the Silver Shield looks like? Does Mulgazar come out?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Silver Shield is a modern take on a classic hero a classic Golden Age superhero. Okay. So he is of that 1920s era, but updated because obviously Barry is multiracial, but there are some sort of like, the shield is very very shiny with golden gilding
See,
all around it.
I
And
was
then,
thinking that the shield was Molgazar.
oh no, not yet. No,
Okay.
no, no. But if you look at it directly into the shield, instead of seeing your reflection, you do see Mulgazar.
Okay. Okay.
But normally need it. And so instead of being a round, it is more of a classic like coat of arms
Yeah.
shape. Its deal is though it is variable in size. And so normally he doesn't wear it straight up like in the classic way. He uses it like it's like the arrowhead shape, and he's punching people with it.
Yeah.
The silver shield, its ability is to change size and mass. And the silver shield also is an entity unto itself.
Hmm.
Barry is the amalgamation of Barry's personality and this classic hero who must exist.
Yeah. Bullet Bill, how's it going? What are we doing tonight?
Sir, I need you to chase down the dragon.
Yeah, that was the plan anyway. I was just asking to be nice.
Bill nods currently. Once a sidekick, always a sidekick. You think he's mumbling him to himself. Mulgazar is still, you think, eyeballing Bill, but you're more uncomfortable with it because now you have multiple generations of Billness going through, and you see him as sort of like a foster son. Yeah, there's a strange like continuance of time relationship. The silver shield raised Bill, who then in turn raised the new silver shield,
Mhm.
training him to be what he needs to be.
Yeah. how'd how'd Barry do today?
Good. He dresses up nice. I was surprising. I was surprised that he negotiated so hard to get what he wanted. He really wants to tell your story, and you notice that, and you don't like it as the Silver Shield. The your is definitely includes Barry in that personality or
Mhm.
Mulgazar in that personality. You're unsure. The your is definitely a plural your. And he leans and he goes, I think Frost wants to go public with you and doesn't want Barry's story of the actual going ons to taint the public release of you.
I think it's too soon. I mean, we haven't fully integrated yet. Barry's gotta know before we really go public.
Barry never needs to know. You see,
Mulgazar, listen.
Mulgazar speaks up.
Barry's got to be able to hide things, and the way things are making that comic, that's not hiding. The only way for him to hide things is if he knows the secret.
You should leave Barry alone. He is a sweet boy. You hear
Barry's got to
Mulgazar.
grow up.
Nope. Leave Barry alone. Barry's sweet and has a dream, and he idolizes you. You should not say negative things about Barry.
He idolizes a dream. He doesn't know anything about me.
He
And
knows
that's the
everything
problem.
about you. He is watching in the back of your mind with popcorn seats and is excited about your doings on. Speaking of which, Mulgazar gets all uppity. We have the dragon to chase down. You realize that human trafficking is the beginning of their deal, not the end of their deal. And their new psychotropic substances that they've got going on are potentially metaphysical. You shouldn't let people snort demon horn.
No, not a good idea. Dragon Bone's not great either.
You say that out loud, and Bill's a little disturbed about conversations between you and Mulgazar.
Because it wasn't this way with the last one.
There's some incidents that Bill knows about that has happened, and either he feels guilty about it or he's unsure how to press forward. But Balgazar is a new thing. Like the Silver Age, like Silver Shield, has always been out there and protected, but maybe particularly ultra violent. But he has sort of his role in this story, and Bill has a new role as Barry's handler and as getting the Silver Shield into the right place. Um, and obviously, he tricked Barry into shots to get him to pass out because you needed more time to trace down the dragon.
I think
Uh,
the previous Silver Shield may have had may have used Mulgazar, where this Silver Shield teams with Mulgazar.
Mulgazar's relationship with the Silver Shield is very strenuous.
Long and strenuous.
Mulgazar is grumbly at your trying to see through the memory veil and doesn't want to talk about it because tonight there's work to be done. Like managing, you hear Mulgazar grumble, managing Barry's bad, but managing the Silver Shield is worse. You hear him
Shut up,
grumbling.
Mulgazar.
Uncle Bill looks at you troubled.
Bill, you're
The
driving
Tesla's
tonight?
waiting, and so you see the person from earlier, the person with the fine dreads, the cinnamon
Yeah.
tan, pull up in the Tesla, like sort of, yeah, like fine dressed. Her voice is assertive and attentive. Like where she was before a little dismissive, the Silver Shield now, she's sort of on board with.
And Silver Shield gets in the back seat because he just had multiple shots of tequila. Not going to say anything, but he's still feeling it a little bit.
It's true. Bill gets in front. Silver Shield, where do you want to pick up the trail?
We last saw the dragon out of the warehouses down by the docks. I think that's the best place to start.
Okay. We're gonna go to the warehouses by the docks, but we're gonna start in the maze of the cargo containers. Because if he's down there in a reason and there's shipments of either dragon horn or demon horn, those things cannot be transported except inside a living person. So we're looking for something being smuggled in with human trafficking. That you hear Mulgazar tell. You tell the Silver Shield that. Silver Shield, though, this is not his first rodeo. He's like, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you drive. On the way, though, something unexpected happens. At one of the lights on a Vespa, one of those cute like teal blue metallic Vespas, is the girl that Barry likes from the pizza joint.
Silver Shield turns and looks, and
the windows are tilted so she can't see you.
Yeah.
But do you want to?
No, I think as these parts of Barry's life bleed over onto Silver Shields, he starts to get a bit of a headache. These things don't normally mix.
Tequila puts everything in the mix.
Yeah. No, he's not
Does
going
this
to
alter
roll the window down.
Does this alter the barrier between Barry and the Silver Shield? Does this alter the Silver Shield's perception? How does the Silver Shield perceive romance?
I think that he's sort of he's got this like headache forming in the front of his head, and he squeezes his eyes closed, and blinks them open for a second, and
You realize that this girl that Barry likes is the spinning image of the Silver Shield's lost love from the 20s, Claire. She's like the reincarnation of Claire.
what's her real name?
Phyllis.
Phyllis. Yeah.
Everybody, but she goes by Felicia.
He holds his head and squeezes his eyes closed and goes, oh, Claire. And
No, it's Felicia
blinks them
now.
open and says, Felicia? And puts his hand on his head again. Like, oh.
The adorable girl on the Vespa looks around like somebody's calling to her, and then you hear the sound of Bill suck wind through his teeth, and that's the sign that the Tesla should just go. And so they blow through the light, leaving the girl at the light, going like, "Did somebody just call me?" Like, oh, Phyllis, an old school name for a new time girl. Felicia's not her name; it's Phyllis. Okay.
Balgazar, what was that?
Sometimes everybody agrees on what should happen. The great conjunction cosmically, where something is supposed to happen in every version of you, Shieldy.
Keep telling you not to call me Shieldy.
And I keep on telling you to stop vigilante justicing every demon that you see.
But I blacked out for a second.
Oh. How unfortunate for you. Malgazar is not interested in taking over in this instance, but Malgazar obviously has some sort of sweet spot for Barry and wants Barry to succeed. He puts up with the Silver Shield, but the Silver Shield's sort of awful because a human intellect granted immortality has a couple of millennia to mature before it's sufferable. He really thinks the Silver Shield is insufferable in the worst sort of way, like a teenager is insufferable. Like he thinks he knows it all but has not seen enough, kind of insufferable. Yeah, so
it's also that this Silver Shield, sure, Barry's like, I don't know, 32, but Silver Shield's only been around for, I don't know, less than half that time.
Silver Shield's probably been around. No, 1920s. I mean,
Well,
he's been
like,
around.
so
Yeah.
this Silver Shield, as Barry Blair, has only been around.
Yeah. No, yeah. This Barry Blair influence. It's sort of like the Doctor. Yeah, he's only been around for such a very short period of time, and utterly insufferable. Now, Shieldy, we're gonna make some hard choices tonight on whether or not we're gonna save people, stop the importation of this potentially a dangerous substance, or catch the bad guy. Which one are you most interested in?
We need to catch the dragon. We have to stop this at the source.
So we're okay with these people put into trafficking and this dangerous object being unleashed on the city.
My goal for this challenge is to take care of the dragon. Nothing else matters.
Okay. And they say, I'm the demon. Alrighty then. So, as you are veering in, the Tesla stops, and it's great because Teslas are super quiet. They're great for stealth things. You can actually even flip off their sounds to make them even quieter if you have the right kind of hack. And it's been modified to have infrared like windshield, so it can see using the cameras projected rather than have the lights on, and so it's gotten on full surveillance mode. Now, Bill's getting out, and he's getting out his binoculars and doing his thing. The Tesla driver is supposed to be there for pickup and pick up both of you, and the maze of the cargo container stock 4 high is even more ominous than normal, because they're still in the shipping debacle where containers aren't going back across the ocean. So there are
early
containers that
2022.
it is really 2022. There are more containers than there should be. Containers that people don't want. People are taking off containers and all this kinds of stuff. And so the maze is even higher and more complicated than it was before.
Great. Silver Shield is going to climb on top of the nearest pile of containers to get a vantage point.
Okay, so you come down from the bluffs, and how does the Silver Shield get themselves over the fences and the barbed wire?
I don't think they get over the fences and barbed wire. I think it is a brute force through.
Whoa! Malgazar says, finesse, Shieldy. Finesse.
I'm doing this with all the grace I've got.
Oh my God, you're a lightweight. No more tequila for you, drunken Shieldy.
Hey, I'm fine.
Malgazar snickers in only the insufferable way a demon can snicker. It sounds a little bit like Snaggletooth. You get through the fences. The dogs show up. What does the Silver Shield do to the dogs?
Are they dogs? Or are they like dragon
They're
dogs?
Dobermans trained to guard the area.
He's going to Arnold Schwarzenegger it and clock them together so they knock out.
Okay. All right. Because you're too drunk.
I'm not drunk, Malgazar.
Because you're too drunk, you use too much force, and you kill the dogs when you smash their heads together.
This is a family-friendly podcast, Seppy.
That warning should have been given earlier. No take backsies. You lose a little too much force, and you think you injured the dogs. Let's put it that way.
Okay. On top of the nearest.
All right. How do you get up? Do you climb, jump, use the shield in an interesting way? Like, what do you do to make it happen?
I think it's at first a combination of jump and climb. So jump up, grab on, pull himself up, and then at some point he puts the shield in, climbs up on top of the shield, stands on it, and makes his way up the rest of the way.
Okay. Does the shield automatically come back to you? Is that its deal?
I think the shield. It. We haven't fully discussed the shield's power. We do know that it changes shape.
It changes shape and size.
Yeah. Does it disappear and reform on his arm?
Yeah, you can make it disappear and show up. Yeah. Okay. Your earpiece with Bill's voice coming in.
Mm-hmm.
The shipment has landed at the end of the docks. The giant blue freighter from overseas. That's it. The dragon is on the bike heading your way.
Do I hear a motorcycle?
You do. It is a street machine of highest order. This character is living every stereotype about somebody with a dragon tattoo, like sort of compensating for the fact that they're not Asian by trying to do every Asian stereotype possible.
Well, I want to run across the tops of all these um, containers, uh, trying to intercept the motorcycle as it goes
All right, so
towards.
you're 4 containers up,
Yeah,
and he's coming at a certain speed. You run, and and you leap off?
yeah. I'm gonna like running from container to container, jumping between the gaps. Uh,
Okay.
there's a point where he's silhouetted against, I don't know, something cool that I'm not thinking of.
No, it's the bright lights of the bright searchlights of the container area that has
Yeah,
used to have dogs.
yeah, and he's going to try and jump down from the top of one of these containers, uh, if not on the dragon, in the path of the dragon.
Okay. In the path, are you gonna make the shield like dumpster size and jam into the ground so he crashes into it? Like, what are you doing? Like, the shield's ability to change size is quite dramatic.
Yeah, I think he smashes it into the ground and turns it into like this curved ramp, trying to get the bike to crash into one of the containers.
Okay.
So it'll, yeah,
Boom. All right. So that's you crash to the ground. All right. The dragon does not expect you to appear out of. He rolls off the back of the bike though, in a meantime, and the bike follows along your ramp like a Hot Wheels track and smashes and explodes fantastically into the side of the container.
mhm,
You can see Barry internally, mentally taking notes about how spectacular that
mhm.
sequence looks.
And yeah, I think Silver Shield leaves the shield in the ground and it sort of retracts into nothing and reappears on his arm. And I can imagine him now like circling the bad guy who is also.
Now, he, of course, has his katana because he's a living Asian stereotype on his back, and you see him pull it slowly, and there's a green sheen from its edge, and he points it to his right, and along its blade does it drip acid.
And as he does that, Silver Shield extends the shield into this wide, like broadsword thing coming off of his arm.
Oh, okay. Silver sword now, are we? You hear Mulgasar say.
Hey now, what do you have to say
Men,
for yourself, dragon?
men, sword fighting, Mulgazar says sarcastically. Uh, the dragon says nothing. Uh, he gets in the proper kendo stance, the acid dripping from his blade.
I expected as much.
As
And
soon as you start to speak, he does a flick, a kendo flick, like you would do to the top of your sword. But
mhm.
since it's so, it's dripping with acid, he sends acid shooting towards you in a straight line, like a stream of straight acid.
Try to bring the shield up.
You try, no, it's a broadsword. Oh no,
Yeah, but it changes quickly.
it does change quickly. Okay. All right,
How
you try to
quickly
bring
does it
the
change?
Okay. You try it changes uh quick enough to stop the acid, but you realize the acid is magic acid, so it starts eroding the shield, and the shield is taking significant damage.
Mhm. It changed quickly. The acid uh, absorbing into the shield, damaging the shield, and I think Silver Shield is probably going to take the opportunity, if there is one, of the dragon getting back into his stance and bull rush forward into him.
Okay. You bull rush forward. He flicks the acid. You break. You block the acid, and you bull rush forward. He expected you to dodge, not to sacrifice your shield. And you barrel into his wrist, so the sword's up here, up above his head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oof! You knock some of the air out of him, but then he slides around, twisting around, so that he's behind you.
Okay. How close behind?
Right behind, like he's gonna strike you across the back, proper samurai style.
So shield is up.
You bull rushed him. He
He's
took the
right
hit, but
behind.
then rolled with it.
I think as he spins around back, Silver's shield will leap forward and roll forward.
Okay, you roll forward just in time as an acid slash comes out behind you, burning the ground, sizzling in every direction. You're worried that the shield now has holes and seems to be acting sluggishly in response to the mystic dragon acid coming from the katana.
Mm-hmm. I spin and throw the shield.
You spin and throw the shield. Do you have it change shape, or do you just let it be a dangerous chunk of metal?
It's just a dangerous chunk of metal.
Okay. He is surprised by this, you giving up your prized possession to throw it at him, and he goes to slice it in half.
Mm-hmm.
What do? It's in the air. He's going to chop it down, but you have super reflexes. You are a person out of time space.
Yeah.
You see that this is going to happen. What do you make happen?
The shield changes shape, and it's a little slower than it usually is since it's damaged, but I think it changes into almost like a pair of wings.
Okay.
So it splits down the middle where the sword would go through it into these two blade-like wings.
It turns into these two blade-like wings. Do you let him? He cuts it, and then the two wings cut him in half. The viscera is terrible. This is the ultra violence that Barry is desperately trying to record. All right, question. Do the wings cut the dragon first, or does the dragon cut the wings first?
I think the dragon cuts the wings first.
Okay. All right, the silver shield has been sundered into two pieces and is slow to reform. But the dragon is dead, but the cargo and the secret cargo have vacated the area. And that would be the end of the challenge.
Bullet Bill, the dragon is down.
I see that. He's down twice. You see, now Bill's getting in the car and they're pulling up through the hole that you made in the fence, past the dogs, poor doggos, and pulling up to collect you. Okay. Unfortunately, after you say that and the acid starts eating through the shield, the silver shield is gone, and Barry finds himself in the warehouse, the maze, going, what is going on?
Okay, great. Change your die.
Oh, change my die. How Mogazar feels about the silver shield, but now that it's Barry.
Thank you for listening to Lone Gamers of the Apocalypse and watching. If you like what we do, be sure to subscribe, like Nightcast Creative, and our other channel, Fighting Bots. All the links for this game, its publishers, and us are down below. And we'll see you next time for the conclusion of Vessel on Lone Gamers of the Apocalypse.